Rory, from what you've seen of France and Japan, what have the Japanese got to get right to make a piece of history today and to try and beat France for the first time?
Yeah, hello there. It's great to be here for this one. And obviously the man in the middle, Ben O'Keefe, will be right at the forefront. But the key battlegrounds, as ever, for Japan is going to be around that set-piece line-out and scrum. They've got to try and hold their own against a powerful French.
All 7 for France.
And again, we just see the replay. Look at Meafou at the front there. Manny Meafou, he is a man mountain, and when he sets up the front of that maul, it made it so difficult for any Japanese defenders to make an impact and halt it. And as we say, when the wheels of the juggernaut start moving, it became impossible to stop. Important that Japan react now and get a positive set.
This has flown through the air over Gazzotti, and now brings it away. He's had a terrific tour of the Southern Hemisphere. Marco Gazzotti started every match for France. Just his 4th cap. Already impressing the French selectors. Lucu clears to touch. It's a 3rd consecutive start for Maxime Lucu in a French number 9 jersey. That's only happened once before in his career, when Antoine Dupont was away playing 7s in 2024. He missed the Six Nations. It was the last time Lucu enjoyed a period of consistent selection such as this. Japan with their first charge of the afternoon, and Samisoni Tua. And here's the debutant Hangana, keen to get his hands on the ball. Hawkins has been a revelation since his debut for Japan. The quick ball again into Cornelsen. And the pick and go off the back of it. Hangana. Saito, the scrum half. Ito, this new talented man at number 10. Saito again, picking the pace high. Knows exactly French rugby inside and out, having been playing for Toulouse for a couple of seasons. France off the line well though. Montagna and Meafou. Popped back by Gunter, looped over to the left-hand wing. And Riley with the carry. Saito goes to the blind side again. France watching those red and white jerseys as well. They can move so quickly when they go through that phase as Japan. Hawkins looks for the direct route. And Derns. Saito, Otsuka. Just his 3rd cap, age 22. Gunter. Saito. Hangana. France now starting to knock the Japanese attacks back. Mitsunaga brought in to give them a different picture. Hawkins, it's very much the same picture from him.
Guys, apologies. Just stay down, stay down, stay down. Yeah, stay down. Just in the way. We'll restart with the scrum.
Nushi with a bang to the head. Blind side for France.
Yeah, just got his head the wrong side there. And the tackle on Harry Hawkins, who's a giant of a man, 6'9", 18.5 stone. Lenny Nushi's a big specimen himself, but just got his head on the wrong side. But
we've checked as well, no foul play.
Fabien Galtier will be pleased with the defensive work of his French team there, but Japan just starting to get into their flow. They're so comfortable with ball in hand, going ruck to ruck, phase to phase. There were 19 or 20 phases there before the Nushi injury, and they did start just finding a few little edges in that French defence.
Well,
and they thrive on lightning quick ball. You can see Naoto Saito, the scrum half, just working ruck to ruck, lightning quick ball up and away into the hands of some big ball carriers. You saw Hangana getting his hands on the ball, Tua in the midfield, just powerful runners. But the French defence holding strong on that occasion. The restart with a scrum as Lenny Nushi may need to go through the head injury assessment process.
So number 4 is going to go for HIA as well. We're going to bring some players on.
Interesting as well. There's, I think, Florian Verhaag as well. Certainly it's at number 4 as well.
So 4 and 6.
There you go.
We have two low players. Timo Cheek, no foul play with that. Yeah.
Head collision without
sideline. We're
any
having
review
two
as well.
Go off for HIA.
Ben O'Keefe's voice just
number
saying
four and number
both
6.
were
So we just need to
very
bring
low.
two replacements on, please.
So it's under the rugby incident category.
Anything for us,
So
Glenn?
Ugo Oradu comes on a little earlier than I might have expected this afternoon in Tokyo.
Yeah. Okay, we've looked at both. No foul play involved. Japan scrum. Here we are.
The man who has to go off. He's the line-out caller for Haag. So
Let's go, hookers.
that set piece that looks so solid.
Here's our mark. Good space on the
And
bind.
setting up the first try needs to be rejigged.
Shoulders out, just here.
First scrum is always
First scrum.
yeah, there we go. Ben O'Keefe as well. Just saying, let's try and get this right.
Guys, this is our first scrum. Here's our mark.
International rugby,
Please set
Rory.
into the spaces.
Two
Okay,
fresh
let's go.
sets of front rows. Neither of these 6
It's their ball. You
gentlemen
adjust.
having played in the
Okay, it's their
last
ball, you
test match,
adjust.
or at least started the last test match.
Yeah, and you're always looking as a big statement. The big difference in this one is, for France, you're defending inside your 22, and so the back row will always have to have their heads up, thinking about things. So
Crouch!
this first engagement is so important.
Binds! Sit!
Saito sees those red and white jerseys coming towards him a little too quickly.
Not staying
He gets
down.
the penalty.
Not staying down in the scrum. Coming around and standing up. Need to stay straight.
You can just hear Ben O'Keefe there talking about walking around in the scrum and the need to stay straight. I know a number of refs who would probably give it the other way based on the momentum, because you just saw the French, all of the intent there, just to say, let's get our power game on here, let's try and force ourselves. But they're deemed to have gone round. Yeah, you can see Poirot on the near side here, just walking around and actually stepping up out of that scrum on the loose head side.
Their line-out has been near infallible so far in the Nations Championships. Gunter gets it off the back. Clean and quick for Japan. And the French are shutting those options down for Japan. A little more space here. Ungana, good pass, but ultimately not a good pass. Gunter with too much to do.
Yeah, I knew that it was a free play though there. I think it was the line speed of Lamotte that you referenced there, Jack, but deemed to have been offside in that midfield. Actually, I think it was maybe number 7, Gazzotti, in the midfield.
19.
And a bit quick off the line.
The mark's here, so you need to stay on the line, please.
Yeah, the Japanese keen to get a score on the board, taking the 3, which has actually been a rarity in this Nations Championship so far. Also infrequently have the teams decided to take 3, going for the corner or tap and goes or scrums instead. But the Japanese, they've got the crowd into the game now. They're just keen to dot some points onto the scoreboard.
Tsunaga. And Japan's fullback opens his accounts and that of his nation against France. 7-3.
Number 12.
And the first raid forward for Japan is a profitable one.
Yeah, no less than they deserved. So I think into the French red zone to leave with 3 points, just so important to just accumulate the points and build that confidence.
High hanging and Hawkins. No one taller than him on this pitch. Poirot
Not at the top.
makes a good tackle on his international return.
Side here. Use.
With this campaign, he was out for 6 years. Retired in 2020, just after the Six Nations. Decided he's still got it, and he very much has. Jalibert.
Balls out. Kick through.
Loose from the French. So Ntamak tidies up. Moefana with the customary jink and the straighten. And Lamotte. Derns is all over the French hooker. He's ripped it free. Hawkins plays it away. Cornelsen with the carry. Saito. Ito. This is going anywhere, and Hawkins is onto this. And with those striding legs, he takes the space into the 22. A free kick or penalty spotted by
We do have a
Bernard
charge
King.
down, but the player was offside in front of the kicker first anyway. Just here. Yeah, but you're offside
Just
in the
see
first
here,
place.
Jalibert
That doesn't put you onside.
on the counter, as is just a few inaccuracies from the French just in the carry there. That one there, Lamotte. The ball will be slippery. The humidity, the sweat of these players on that ball, and we just saw on a couple of occasions there, Ntamak not quite accurate enough in the ball placement, and then from there off the back of it, even Lamotte, such a powerful carrier, but stripped off that ball. It came to nothing on that occasion. The charge down came, Japan were in front of the kicker, so the penalty went France's way.
Oradu straight into the action, taken by Tixeron. Moefana. Ishida with the tackle. Luku to Gazzotti.
Lost now, thank you.
Montagna. Real chance for him to make a play, to be a front row forward in the future. Adesogbe. But knocking on from the French. Such crisp passing that we expect every time from the French, no matter the speed that they play at. But the conditions here won't be helping them, Rory, will they?
Yeah, well, these are two of the best ballers in world rugby. Ntamak and Jalibert. Jalibert, for me, is one of the best rugby players in the world. He is such a talent, and the stuff that he does with the ball is unbelievable. Really interesting, obviously, with his move to full-back in recent weeks. Fabien Galthié keen to get both Romain Ntamak of Toulouse and Mathieu Jalibert, who's the conductor of Bordeaux-Bègles, both on the same field together. So playing around with this 10-15 combination with the two first receivers, and just on that occasion it broke down. But highlighting, as you say, Jack, the conditions are hard. We were speaking before coming on air, and conditions whereby there's not been rain, there's a sweaty ball, and actually there's not necessarily the mud or the grit on the field that gives you the grip and resistance on that ball. It just becomes a bar of soap, and we've seen that on a couple of occasions, and already you see the sweat dripping off the headgear of Kajiro Tamefusa, the tight head prop for Japan. It's hot work out there.
Shoulders out. Great. Crouch. Binds. Guys, clean.
Free kick to Japan. To say Fabien Galthié was not happy with the scrum performance this week would be understating it a bit. The wholesale changes to the front row, one indicator, but also the penalty count. Across the last two matches, they've conceded 3 penalties and 3 free kicks against New Zealand and then against Australia, and already against Japan, 1 penalty and 1 free kick.
Yeah, I think they're obviously defence couldn't get round to Riley, who did well to just get it through the hands, and Kipe Ishida did a great job of finishing it off. Small man, quick feet, and the Japanese were back in the game at that stage.
So the 2 nines compared. Saito having just finished a stint playing for Toulouse, where Eddie Jones said that it's like he's come back with a master's degree in rugby, having been tutored by Antoine Dupont, of course, at Toulouse, and he's bringing all that back to this Japanese team. Very rare for Japanese players to go and play abroad. He's one of the only players to have done it in 15 years. Saito. Adesogbe doing what he does so well in the air again. Miafu looking to power forward off the back of it. Instead, Japan. Pitch and go. Rongana. Here's Saito.
Ducks, play
Suka. Carry from the new man to Test Rugby. Gunter. Derns. Harry Hawkins still has 3.5 minutes to run on his yellow card. The Haag. He's done really well there, that second row. Error.
You're on top of them. They're on the side.
Derns. Really difficult man to bring to heel. Scored against Italy. Gunter's carry doesn't bring the ball with him. And he knocks it on.
Offside. Knock on.
Yeah, strong French defence there, just holding out. Ben Gunter there, he's such a big physical specimen. We saw the impact of a big tackle, and Gazzotti, his opposite man, from the kick-off earlier on, is very effective in the carry. And you're seeing the work and effort of the big carriers for Japan. Gunter, Hangana, Tua as well.
You adjust now.
Willing carriers everywhere, but the French defence just holding strong at the moment. Again, you just, a couple of occasions, can't overstate how challenging it is handling a ball that's soaked in sweat. And you saw when, you know, Manny Meafu, who almost holds the ball like it's an orange pip, such as the size of the human being that he is, the ball slipping free of his big mitts there and giving Japan the chance, but
no space
nothing came on that occasion. And again, Jack, it's another messy scrum, and Ben O'Keefe just unwilling to mess around. He's now penalising the Japanese the way he did for the French for being unstable before the engagement.
Moefana this time, who taps it back. They're winning everything in the air, France. Jefferson Poirot. Jalibert. Space around the ruck here. Chips for himself. Ito gets it away. Wader. Now Wader's looking for this himself too. And Tamak goes down the gunnels of the pitch. Picked up by Hangana. It's gone forward, and Cornelsen can't really do much with that.
Yeah, there's a big 5 or so minutes here. You can see it's just got a little bit scrappy.
We're not even getting to
nearly half an hour in now.
I agree, that's why you had the last free kick. But it's both teams now. Balance on the bind. Balance on the bind so we can sit. We need space between the shoulders.
Yeah, important to hear Ben O'Keefe there, just explaining to the scrum, to both sides. He's now penalised both ways on that free kick. Balance in the scrum. Let's try. The set piece is such a key battleground, and at the moment we're not getting anything from the set piece scrum. So nearly half an hour in, Ben O'Keefe making things clear now. Let's see if the front rows can hold off and get things balanced.
Luku feeds. And they like the look of that. Easy to get away for France. And Tamak, Moefana, Grondidier and Kanang's pass to Atisogbe. A lot of space for him, but it was off the forward pass.
Forward. Back to the penalty. Loose head, loses bind.
And Aaron Grondidier and Kanang can barely believe that one was called forwards. Harry Hawkins coming back from his 10 minutes in the bin. But the difference on that one, Jack, was that it was the French put in, so they knew when the ball was going to come in, and they knew that they could build the pressure on the Japanese scrum. And Ben O'Keefe on this occasion deeming that the Japanese stepped out under pressure and gave that penalty given quickly on the near side. Regis Montagna, big tight head, nearly 21 stone of him, deemed to have done a good enough job on his opposite man.
The troubles of earlier in the half. It was a brief period of trouble, admittedly, and they are looking every inch. The French of the Six Nations and of the last 2 matches as well against New Zealand and Australia. They've brought it on the road to Tokyo.
Yeah, these French players will be very much looking forward to a well-earned break. They have such a long season in the top 14. And this, you know, you add in the travel of going to New Zealand and on to Australia, and now back up to Japan. They've got a lot of miles in the legs, and they'll be desperate to finish off with a big performance. And you know, they've bagged the bonus point already, but plenty of work still to do. But I think Fabien Galthié will have been pleased, a bit less pleased by that one from Maxime Lucu, who has just conducted the orchestra so well up to that point. That one just going out straight out, outside his 22.
He really struggled in the heat 4 years ago in this stadium in Japan, Lucu, and he said this week that he thought he'd managed to work his way through it, but in actual fact, nothing of the sort. He quickly realised he was wrong. He's feeling it again, but he's playing through it well. Saito, Hawkins, Ito. Stabs this in behind. Lucu and Jalibert are there for France. And that one does find a safe touch.
Yeah, it's good defensive play. Jalibert doing well, get a good attack. I've been really impressed by Ito in the number 10 jersey for Japan. Just his intent when he gets the ball. He's quick, he's athletic, and he just looks like he's got an ambition to run with the ball in his hands. He's got a bit of French to him, actually, just that desire to keep the ball in hand and just attack defensive lines.
Error.
Advantage, interference in the air.
His lineup does stay in Japanese possession.
You have the penalty.
Saito, Cornelsen. Playing with the advantage, and Hawkins. Change of direction from Saito. Hangana.
No advantage. Interference in the air on the 15.
Jack, you actually see, you just see here, it's Verhaeghe just grabbing the arm there of Derns. The referees now are so eagle-eyed around that, but this is a great opportunity for Japan. A line out close to the French line. Can they do what the French have done to them and get this maul rolling, build the pressure and try and get a return in the red zone?
To the front with Cornelsen, and in plugs Era. France meet it head on to begin with. Era stays true to his task. Miyafu has found his way all the way through. He has to get out of it now. And now Japan go to the backs, picked up by Saito. Crossfield kick from Ito into the air. Ueda just can't take it.
Offside.
It's brilliant skill execution from Ito, getting that ball quickly. Oh, Ueda. This is one of those whereby, I think just slipping through. He knew that was an opportunity. You sometimes see wingers nowadays run off the field when the ball's edging towards the touchline and then jump back infield, and I think
Pass is sticking. Fifth try, and Jalibert's second of the match.
it's really great stuff. The work by Atasogbe, firstly defusing an aerial bomb from Japan, and then second time round chasing the kick of Lucu to regather. It becomes nigh on impossible to build your defensive shape when you receive when the team who kick. We saw that in the first half.
Maxime.
It was Ntamak kicked it straight out. On this occasion, it's probably the first hardcore error by Ito. He's had an excellent 44 minutes in that number 10 jersey for Japan, but yeah, the kicking battle becomes such a pivotal area, and the French showed there that if you win the ball back from a box kick, it becomes so difficult to build defensive shape, and you build that momentum, and the French dotting down for another 7-pointer. They scored 2 minutes into the first half. Now 3 minutes into the second half, they get their fifth try of the early evening in Tokyo.
In the spaces, please. Shoulders out.
So
Both
Ben
shoulders,
O'Keefe is
shoulders out.
refereeing
Let's go.
France today for the first time in 3 years
That's it, please.
since that World Cup quarter-final against South Africa. The French lost by a point.
Good balance and patience.
Scrum was very messy in the first half, Jack. There'll be Ben O'Keefe and both teams will be keen to try and build some solid foundations to get this game underway. Really messy first half, lots of penalties and free kicks.
France tread this forward.
Advantage.
Having a good day in the 8 jersey. His first time wearing 8 for France.
Penalty advantage.
He's been used as a second row, as a replacement back row. But here he's been throwing the keys to the jersey he wears for Toulouse so effectively.
Yeah, the man in picture, Otsuka, seems to have collapsing. It's on the far side from the angle that we're seeing here, but just the pressure. The French knowing when that ball was going to come in, and I think Maxime Lucu knew that he wasn't going to be given the ball on a plate there. That the 8 men of that French pack just wanted to build the upper hand and bring home penalty advantage. They had a free hit to play off the deck, didn't come to anything, so they belted the ball into that 22, and the line out returned a lot for France in the first half. See what they go to in this second half now. Do they stick with them all?
Lamotte taken by Derns this time. The line out one against the head, and Japan look to play away from the front of their line. Riley says to Wader that he can go after this.
A little bit scrappy, but that man in picture, the skipper, winning this ball just ahead of Oradu. He's come off the bench. Look at that work, brilliant work by Warner Derns to nick that ball. A little bit scrappy, pass went to ground and Riley grubbered through.
No problem that time for Oradu. And Ntamak brings Miafu into things. Usually causes problems for opposition defences. Ntamak. Didier Nkanang. Moefana on Riley. Jalibert keeps it in 2 hands as long as he can before then taking contact. He's strong when he does. Lucu, good hands from Rouma, but Oradu a little too high from him. Miafu. Hungana on the tackle. Lucu sees some space straight through the ruck again. Just as he did for his try in the first half. Japanese players being knocked out of the way at ruck time. But Gunter might get in here for Japan. Lamotte. Again, very difficult to pin him down this afternoon. Maxime Lamotte. And Ntamak puts it downfield again, and that is Sogbe. It didn't bounce for him. But it made life very difficult for Japan.
Nothing quick now.
Yeah, it's good cover by
Japan
Matsunaga.
substitutions.
And now changes being made by Japan, but France just benefited a little bit of luck. Lovely hands by Rouma, got through the hands of Oradu. The ball actually came off his head, so it's not a knock-on, but there's a great man, great player, an absolute icon of Japanese rugby, Michael Leach, of course, captained them to their home World Cup in Japan, and you can hear the crowd rising for a legend of the game.
37 years of age now, and heading towards possibly becoming a Test centurion. 92 caps at the moment. And Nushi has taken this all on himself. Just short. Montagna stands over it with Miafu and Lamotte, and the French heavies plot their way over the line again. Getzotti with Oradu.
Step back, Japan, on the line.
Montagna again with Lamotte. Miafu now. Leach is straight into defensive duties here. He dives down to stop this and does.
We still have the penalty advantage.
Lucu waiting for his turn. Now it comes. Interception, and
He's fine, he's fine.
that was okay.
He's fine.
The penalty was already incoming.
Here.
Ben O'Keefe, eagle-eyed.
Advantage. Everyone was very good. It was just the one player.
And you just hear his comms. There was one player with his hands just beyond the line, around that pillar, so the closest defender to the ruck, deemed just to be off the line. The discipline of Japan,
So here we are.
largely speaking, good, but just one defender, hands in front of the line.
On your halfbacks.
They breathe again at the moment, but will they be brave enough to challenge this French line low enough and can't get under the ball? That's another 5-pointer for that man in picture. That's good sportsmanship, getting turns up, tap on the head to say, too good for me on this occasion, Maxime.
Wader brings down the effort.
Yep.
And Japan going through a difficult period at the start of this second half. It is what France have been doing.
Yeah. Ask, I'll say yes, I'm aware of it
30
as well.
points in the second half against Australia.
When that ball was
They
out.
put together. They come out after the break. And despite the conditions
Just start
in Tokyo and the
onside,
humidity,
Japan.
they've done it again. 14 points in 12 minutes. Derns. Now Japan's trusty line-out goes awry.
We have a lift. It's caught out here. Scrum.
And Ben O'Keefe, this is obviously a fairly recent law still, whereby if the French hadn't challenged that line-out, it would have been allowed, even though the throw wasn't straight. But as soon as the defending team put someone up in the air, if the ball is not straight, it will be called that way. And again, further changes for Japan. Eddie Jones going to the bench to try and get some kind of impact.
Taramain is on, and Michael Stolberg too.
Stop, please reset. We've got a few issues with height and then space on the side. Let's just reset that. We're going to go same mark. Guys, we're too close. Okay? You need to set back, so we have space. Okay? They can stay there, you step back.
Luku, just as he likes it. Moefana and Ntamak. Now into Sogbe. Still not with too much space to play with. Ntamak, good pass. Oradu is well positioned. Niafu. Ntamak. Suddenly arriving is Moefana to Jalibert. Again, he bumps away the first defender. Ntamak. Back to Miafu. Steady a place as any to place a pass when you need a few yards. Luku to Moefana. France's turn to go through the phases, and they start to count now with Miafu going across the gain line and the penalty already been won.
Offside.
Just an offside call there again. It wasn't perfect by France, but here we go. The changes, a whole heap of changes coming from the bench now. Fabien Galtier deciding he wants to give these players off the bench 25 minutes to finish their season. Heck of a lot of power coming on there.
Tom Staniforth, Reda Wadi, Piato Malvaca and Sapili Falatea. as well as the backs, Calvin Gorga, who has looked so good coming into matches late on in the Nations Championship. One to watch out for, wearing 23.
There he is in picture. He makes something out of nothing, does so much good work, slotting into the midfield.
Malvaka and Stanislav Luku straight into Graubury's territory. And back to the right-hand side with Atis Sogbe.
Tackle there.
Sipili Falatea. First run in anger to the tight head.
Open up. Good work.
Nushi. Again they switch play. Untamak now comes into things and he'll drift through. Japan having to look very, very lively to then get back to him. And Michael Leach jumped on the ball to save Japan there. One more phase and surely the French would have been scoring again.
Oh, he's done brilliantly there, Michael Leach. I think Antamak, if he had his chance again, Jalibert run a beautiful angle off his shoulder. You just see here Antamak there, Jalibert on the shoulder, just couldn't quite get the ball into his right hand to get a chicken wing ball out the back, and that man over the top of it. He'll have thousands of turnovers in his career, and another one to add there.
Time's on.
So Izzy Sword comes on for Japan to make his test debut, wearing number 18. Plays for the Kuboto Spears. Now a brave blossom.
That's one, France!
France, meanwhile, back to business. Malvaka.
I think the force is a yellow card threshold, I would say. You see his good sportsmanship there. I think he realises he's got to drop his height. Samisoni Tua, the centre there, and he really doesn't. He just, there's not a swinging arm, and I don't feel like it's the force that would deem a bunker review that would turn a yellow into a red. It's been dealt with on field now. Jalibert's got 10 minutes in the bin. They will go to the bunker.
Sorry, are you ready?
And France are at 14 for at least 10 minutes.
Time on.
Ryunosuke Ito had an idea of maybe something else, but kicked the touch, and Japan will try from the set piece. A rare foray forward in the second half for them. Cornelsen goes at the front, and Gunter gets his hands on it. Stolberg doing hard work at the front of this.
Down by Japan.
Stopped it at source.
Let's try and get the ball out. Don't move on top, don't move on top. It's your own players. Thank you. That's fine.
Saito to Leach. Ito, crossfield kick, he keeps it low. This is bouncing back for him and for Stolberg.
We've got backwards by France here.
Ruma did brilliantly there. The ricocheted ball, the big man managed to capture it and get himself to the ground and just buy his teammates a little bit of time. Now Luku will just take control now of possession.
Did that take a deflection?
No, I don't believe I had the ball touch. Nothing clear from me.
You can often hear the sound that Ben O'Keefe was right next to it. Didn't think that there was
clearly touched, so we'll play the line out here.
a deflection, unless he hears otherwise.
Happy.
I've been really impressed. I know that the scoreboard, 6 tries conceded by Japan. I've been really impressed by their half-backs. So it's scarcely believable that Ito is a university student who has only just been introduced to international rugby. He's got a big future ahead of him.
Not good.
Japan's next attempt to unpick the French defence.
Front scrum.
Undone by a knock-on.
Yeah, again, it's frustrating.
Time off, we'll have a water break. 20 minutes. Water break, 3 minutes.
Yeah, well-earned water break
Scrum
again.
France.
Their jackets, you can see some tiring bodies, even those coming off the bench, trying to get yourself into this game. in the humidity, in the heat. We saw Staniforth spilling the ball, just probably underestimating just how difficult the conditions are to handle the ball. To, you know, your lungs will feel heavy, your legs will feel heavy. Getting up off the ground at this stage of the game just becomes harder and harder. So I'm sure there'll be a bit of water, but a heck of a lot of electrolytes being taken on board, trying to replenish the salts that you're losing through the sweat.
Jalibert having his own isolated water break in the sin bin. And these are the numbers behind the 42-15 scoreline. And those metres gained have really equalled out now, Rory. In fact, they've equalled out exactly. First half, Japan were running far more than the French, despite not having the same success with ball in hand. Tackles missed have started to accrue.
Yeah, I think really the tackles missed for Japan have gone up a little bit. The penalties conceded, 8, but you know, still you're talking about 10 being, you know, the maximum you'd want to try and concede. But equally, there are times whereby, you know, 8 penalties with 20 minutes to go, you wouldn't deem as being terrible. But I think it's just the relentlessness of execution for the French when they get into the Japanese 22 has been absolutely exceptional. The power, the wherewithal, just understanding how you accumulate points and accrue points. And I think for the French, it's come primarily around that maul. And yes, we're seeing Jalibert finish off the opportunity 3-4 phases in, but most of the French tries have started at that maul. And it's the power of the pack. You see the 2 heads-to-heads here.
Maxime, so the decision for the yellow card.
2 outstanding fly halves. Romain Ntamack's probably a better source of possession in front of him, but that man in picture, I have been so impressed by Ito. 21 years old. His entry in this Nations Championship to international rugby, he looks like a duck to water. Yeah, and yes, he's been behind a pack whereby they've been dominated a bit by the French today, but he has made a lot happen, and I'm excited to see the future of him. And inside him, Saito, who's had that experience at Toulouse in the top 14. They are really solid half-back partnership.
Rouma with open country in front of him after picking from the base. Staniforth keeps hold of that one. He made absolutely certain that he did. Luku. To Sogbe, causing a nuisance of himself again under the ball. Leach in Japan, though, with it in their possession. Saito, Derns, good take from Ito. Now he goes off and looks to open up the French, and that's a lovely pass, which just needed one more, and Saito would have been away. Here's Gorga. Gunter. And the tackle for Japan. Ntamack, good hands from Gatsolti. There's Balatea, Barbary likewise, Rouma, Ntamack, Uradu. They're all coming to play now, the French. Tyrone Main off and going. Pop back from Sword. Matsunaga, the fullback. Just Grandidier. Unkanang, fancy from here. Sevens Olympic gold medalist with France from Paris. Redawadi with a huge clear out, which may need another look.
We played on enough from a potential serious injury. Japan's got the penalty.
Yeah, there's an injury in the midfield.
And subs.
I think Gunter wins the penalty and takes a heck of a clatter in the process of doing it. He's an absolute menace both sides of the ball. I don't know if it's the man in picture, Tixeron, who was down, is now not. You see in the background Nushi. Lenny Nushi, who went off for a head injury assessment earlier on, is down. Looks like he was in a bit of bother getting some treatment. And Eddie Jones taking the opportunity to make some more changes. Winobo coming on as well as Sato. the replacement hooker. Yeah, it looks like a lower leg injury, maybe around the ankle there. Lenny Nushi.
It was that side, I'm not sure.
He is a hard man, so it takes a bit to keep him down.
You got the penalty here anyway.
It looks like his evening is now done.
Went off in the first half. HIA, nothing wrong there, but an unfortunate end to Lenny Nushi's season.
No, penalty. Oh, you're on? Thank you.
Young talent. Nushi, Gazzotti, and when Oscar Jegu was in the back row last weekend, it was
subs are made.
the back row
Penalty,
which
holding on.
won the Under-20s World Championship, all together playing at the same time for the senior team.
It's an amazing production line of talent that the French create, isn't it? You see some of the young men coming through and just slotting into this Fabien Galthié machine.
Leach looking to get this Japanese machine moving, and Gunter likewise, heavy carry from the 7. Back to the left, Costly.
For offside, no try. No try, we have a penalty.
Tien and Costly denied. And Japan denied a third score.
Yes, the right call. I think on field, Ben O'Keefe actually didn't think that Falatea had held and completed the tackle. But as it was, he did. Japan will have another chance.
Sato, Akabe and Sword together. The replacement front row. They scored from a very similar position in the first half. Costly is the man they go to again.
Step back!
Saito, Gunter, interception from Gazzotti. Ricochets around and back in Gazzotti's arms.
Knock on and then accidental offside. So we have a scrum. No, it wasn't a knock on, it was back by France then. France go for the intercept, hit the ball backwards. Japan ball.
You look, it's great defensive work here. Gunter tries to get the ball through his hands. Gazzotti manages to get in, knocks it backwards. Then Luku knocks it forwards, and Gazzotti on the floor. The ball lands on his lap, so it's accidental offside. Japan have the scrum. Can they get the platform that's good enough to launch a strike? You're tying in the 8 men of France, and of course the back division are still a man down. Jalibert in the bin for another 3 and a bit minutes, so they're only attacking 6 backs in the defensive line.
What set piece?
Reset. 2 players here. These 2 players.
The defensive work here of Maxime Luku is huge. He's going to stay close to the scrum.
Okay, you're going to stay up
initially, but then he's got to be wary that there are only 5 backs defending at least 6 Japanese backs. So his decision as to which side of the scrum he defends on and where he can tie in with that first back defender. The back row have a big job to do as well, but the first job has to be scrummaging. They've had the dominant scrum, the French, so far in this match, but Japan will look to build a bit of pressure. Can they strike? Can they score? A try that they do really deserve.
They do the first job. Saito gets it away. Slightly loopy, and so they have to tidy up, but it'll never get to the second phase. France taking it off and in contact. And then forward pass after that.
Yeah, it's just another error coming from the carry. Sanisoni Tua was clattered hard, and just couldn't look after the ball. Yeah, this is just a forward pass to Grandidier and Kanang that meant that the French weren't rewarded with the advantage from the knock-on, but the knock-on came straight from the strike play. Saito did well to get in and dig the ball out of the middle of that scrum, because the Le Bleu pack created a lot of pressure. The Japan scrum was going backwards, but Saito got it up and into play. But Tua, as he carried into that midfield, the ball dislodged, knocked on. And now expect the French just to conserve energy, build the scrum and build an exit. That can give them the time to get back to 15 with Jalibert only on the naughty step for another minute.
Luku from Ruma, but no real yardage on that. So Japan's opportunity here still very much out there for them, with Jalibert not yet rejoining.
I have to say also, I guess it highlights the importance of Maxime Luku to this French team. You look at the lead that they've built up, and Paul Grau waits for his debut off the bench still, but the talisman Luku now. Of course, Antoine Dupont not part of this squad, not part of the match, but it's the highlight of his man deputising.
Matsunaga, half a break, and looking for
Kick through by Japan.
Wanobo in the 23 shirt, who's straight into test match action for the first time.
And a speculative offload.
It is the time in the match for speculation for Japan. A bonus points. Those 4 tries would be useful heading into the autumn series, when the second phase of the Nations Championship will begin and then conclude at the end of November
Just hold.
at Stadium Twickenham. For the French, meanwhile, and for Paul Grau, a long-awaited international debut. The Toulouse scrum half, aged 28, wears a test jersey for the first time. Malvaka, he doesn't want to give it to the new man. He wants to keep going and bundle his way through and find Tixeron.
Number 19.
And now 2 of the 3 frontline Toulouse scrum halves on field at the same time from their squad. That man in picture, Grau. You know, when you consider the depth, you know, Antoine Dupont, arguably the world's best rugby player, not part of the 23. Grau, whenever he plays for Toulouse, he never disappoints. He is an outstanding rugby player in his own right, but he's also representing the same club as the world's best rugby player. And obviously, that other man in picture there, Naoto Saito, a fellow Toulouse scrum half, but a great moment for Grau to come on in Tokyo to win his first cap in the blue.
12 minutes to enjoy it. Gazzotti wrestles to the ground. There's Grau. To Braubory. He's been well watched today, or not been found enough by France, depending which way you look at it. Such a talent, the outside centre. Malvaka bringing his particular talents to bear. 48th cap today. Most experienced player in the French team. Staniforth. Leach is there, and he's got in to everything since coming on, Michael Leach.
18 and 19.
He's a nuisance, all of the experience. I think he was actually going to be rewarded for that one, but
last sector jumper, no tackle of the lifters.
Again, you just had 2 penalties. 2 players identified, Sword and Stolberg, pulling the lifters to ground illegally at the mall. Man banging the ball into the corner, and as we come into the final 10 minutes of this test match, the French maul will once again be the source of a red zone attack. It's returned an awful lot in this match so far. Look there at the efficiencies, 4.7 points per visit on average for the French team.
So France try to restart their reliable Renault van again. It's delivered try after try. Japan, this time, dealing with it perfectly. It's taken 70 minutes, but that's how to handle it.
Oh, they've kept on going, haven't they? Japan, they've not laid down, they've not given up. The French, they've not been able to score the Japanese in this second half yet, but they continue to fight. You see the exhausted face there of Captain Warner Durns. leading this Japanese side.
Yeah, here we go.
With the humidity and the temperature of the Tokyo air, there will be some exhausted bodies out there. That man's come off the bench and made a positive impact, Michael Leach. But you look at that stat there, 12 aerial contests, 9 of them won by France. They have won the air, the battle of the air, and it's one of the many building blocks of international rugby now. But I think particularly when you look at Teo Atisogbe, Aaron Grandidi, Nkanang, these are skills now that...
On the blind side again, because Gunter's there, that's why.
They just choose to continue.
Durns. Now coming into things goes Wenobo. The knock on, just as things were getting exciting for those in the stands at the Japan National Stadium.
Yeah, I think Ben O'Keefe might have a little look at this. Ben Gunter got caught up in a bit of a tussle away from the ball, but it was hectic. It was a little bit pinball-like. And Wenobo, again, just getting the ball away on that occasion to Okabe. And you see the frustration of Eddie Jones battering his radio off the desk in the coach's box. Just confusing, crossing lines there.
Anything for us to have a look at it, Glenn, while we've got the time here?
It was high tempo, it was scrappy, tired bodies.
So penalty only?
Sweat on the ball. Yeah, they are going to come back, I think.
So Glenn, should we review this?
See Ben O'Keefe talking to his TMO, Glenn Newman.
What are we waiting for, Glenn? Okay, time off. Checking potential foul play. So Glenn, just bring it up on the screen what you want us to look at. We believe there's some play off the ball that we need to review.
It's just a tackle off the ball, yes.
Ben Gunter was involved.
Who's the tackle off the ball made by? Because Japan were on attack.
Japan 7 make the tackle off the ball.
Okay.
It's like the kind of thing that you'd see in a WWF Royal Rumble, whereby there's...
Just give us the facts if you see anyone starting it.
Yeah, actually, just see here in the middle of the screen, there. Ben Gunter.
Aren't they part of the ruck, Glenn? So keep showing those replays.
It's on Gorg.
Guys, I get there's contact there by 7, but if that comes from the ruck, so it's just before that, guys.
I'm not sure there was a ruck, and it's about 2 meters away from it. Yeah, I think.
So, like, guys, I mean, for me, the part of the ruck, I understand that he takes him to ground, but they're part of the ruck, so I think we'll just have the scrum here. Yeah, it's just an aggressive clean to the ground. Okay, Glenn, I'm just going to restart with the scrum here. Okay, back on me. So I see the contact between the two players, but they're over the ruck there, so they can make contact around the ball there. Yes, they go to ground together, but for me, there's no foul play in that, so we'll just have a scrum. Okay, no foul play. They're part of the ruck. They go to the ground. Okay, so no penalty. Scrum here.
He can defend just a bit.
Yeah?
He can defend.
Yeah, but I believe they were part of the ruck and not too far past the ruck. Okay, good question. Thank you. Thank you. Scrum. Your ball.
I think if this score was 50-all, that might be a quite different conversation, I have to say, Jack. I'm not sure you can do that. Well, you can't do that. Ben O'Keefe deeming that Gorg was enough of a part of the ruck that Gunter can clear him out. But last time I saw, you can't grab somebody and throw them 2 meters away. And firstly, I didn't think the ruck was formed. Secondly, he didn't come through the middle. And thirdly, if you drive someone beyond the ruck to beyond a meter of the ruck, then that's deemed foul play. So I think there are probably 2 or 3 things that could have been penalised in that occasion, but as it is, we're going to restart with a scrum.
A halt's call to proceedings there and then in the punishing conditions of Tokyo. France's season ends on a high. They've brought the heat against Japan and they've won out winners. 42 points to 15. And Rory, 2 wins from 3 for the French down in the Southern Hemisphere. No doubts that New Zealand lost by 2 points. We'll live in